Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Black Pounds Live podcast. This is CJ Webley, and today we are with one of my very, very old school friends, Mr. Jack Mattison of Social Agenda. So, Mr. Jack Mattison, what's been happening? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, a lot,
I
a lot. There's been a lot happening. A little bit about me. As it stands, I'm a director and shareholder in Social Agendas. So there's me and one other, Aaron Branch, who I'm pretty sure we'll see at some stage on the podcast. But he's got a little one on the way at the moment. But yeah, so we're a social media marketing agency, and we specialise really in those Facebook and Instagram advertisements that you kind of see all over the place these days.
Yeah,
but that's where we're at the moment.
You guys have got the Facebook stuff on Smash, because I saw Aaron doing his thing. I was thinking, who's this Aaron guy, man? Why does he keep popping up on my Facebook? And then I was like, oh, actually, he's talking quite a bit of sense there, and it actually looks quite interesting. And I saw it leads you to the Instagram. I think you've got it. So if you click on it, it can kind of link you to the Instagram. So I think I went on the Instagram, and then I saw you, and I was like, oh, Jack's doing that. Jack's all confident, because Jack was like you were just. You always had like a quiet confidence about you, like playing football and whatever. Like now it's like you found your voice. So how did that all come about? What were you doing when you left school?
See, it's so interesting. Actually, it's good to do this with someone that I actually almost really grew up with. I think you grow a lot, don't you, through your school days, and you learn a lot about yourself, especially as you come into the back end of it. But yeah, I mean, I'd say I was quite shy in school, really, compared to what I am now. But it all really happened when it all happened. Obviously, when I left school, I kind of knew where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do.
Let me rewind then. So, were you in sixth form? I can't remember if you left it.
Yeah,
you were in sixth form.
Yeah, I did 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah, I did 1 year, and I actually studied. I did business studies, and I can't even remember what the other one. Something to do with sport. Something to do with sport. I don't even know my GCSEs.
Guys, we're not advocating not to study, but
yes, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
So I did a year of sixth form.
Okay, and that wasn't really feeling it. What was your take on that?
No, I think for me, I did sixth form just to kind of. I look back now, and it was just to cover some time, really, and just buy myself a little bit more time so I could try and figure out really what I wanted to do. But I learned very fast that, I mean, I never wished or wanted for anything. I never struggled. My mum always put everything on the table, and my dad as well. But I wasn't one of those kids really that could have the best trainers or, like I say, I wasn't I wasn't just eating off dry bread every day.
You weren't one of the Warmly guys when you could do, break, go to the shop, them like banging baguette. What was it called? Baguette.
Yeah, this Zinger baguette from Sandwich Bar, and I was one of them. I was one of them tuna sandwich, or if I'm lucky on a Friday, I can spend the money that I've saved up and get myself one of those sausage and chip deals from the chippies.
Were you on EMA as well? Did you get EMA?
Yeah, EMA. So that was the other, like, my EMA used to fund, like 1 day a weekend of activities kind of thing. That was how that was. So that's, I learned very fast that, okay, well, I need to make some money here. I can't just keep asking my mom and my dad for money. Yeah. So after sixth form, that's when I kind of thought, okay, right, I can't do this any longer. I wasn't ever really too academic. I just found it really hard to pay attention in those kind of, I just found it really, really hard to pay attention in those environments. So I went straight into work, really, and ended up working all over the place. I worked for an agency, went to Germany, worked at the Olympics in 2012. I just did so much. I was all over the place.
What kind of work? What kind of work was that then?
So it was manual labour.
Okay.
So it was kind of picking, packing, things like that, really. At the Olympics, I was a kitchen porter. So I was actually cleaning the dishes. I remember looking, as I was cleaning the dishes and looking straight through, like the small window that you have in these restaurants and seeing Barack Obama just sitting there eating. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so close to this guy, but he just doesn't know I'm looking at him. Had no idea. So it was a very surreal experience for sure. But yeah, I did that kind of work really. It was always hands on.
Did you enjoy it, or how did you?
I enjoyed the experiences. I didn't enjoy the work.
Yeah.
No, it was really hard work. I was doing 12-hour days and just washing dishes. It's just you could imagine. It just wasn't very nice, really. But the experience was great. I got to meet people, see people that I'd never usually be able to see as well. So it was great, yeah. And then, of course, traveling the world as well. I mean, I worked in Paderborn and Dusseldorf in Germany on 2 separate occasions. And then I was also offered to go to Australia and work on an actual Navy ship.
Wow.
So, but this was all happening. And then my dad passed away.
Oh, okay. Sorry to
obviously when no, don't worry. But as that happened, that's when I kind of realised, okay, I need some more. Like, okay, this is great going working away and experiencing all these things, but I've got a brother and my mum now that are at home, and I, just naturally started to miss them a bit more. So that's when I fell into the factory world, building car parts and all of the rest of the stuff, really. So that was the majority of my career, really, was that factory lifestyle and just being on a line, we call it, where I'm just really a button presser.
So not really like so when you kind of left school, there wasn't really a clear focus of what it was that you wanted to do. You just knew you needed to generate some income essentially so you could get by. And then
that was it.
You're doing a little bit of traveling with the kind of work you were doing with the agencies, able to see some famous people and able to meet some people. But the actual job itself was kind of, just washing dishes and not really mentally stimulating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you ultimately started then looking for something a bit more stable in this country, so you could, be there for your mom and your brother. And so you went into this factory work. So tell us about the transition from working in like a factory to now being practically, self-employed in an organization.
Yeah, it was quite surreal actually. And I was on a podcast the other day just speaking about something similar, and it got me into there was so many. I went through a really bad stage, where my mental health actually took a massive hit just because of the big change. I mean, a factory, what I was doing in there was essentially I was just pressing buttons. I wasn't really required to do much. Wow. There wasn't much pressure. It was because it's such a big organization as well.
Yeah.
I'm just one of thousands. So you go in, you do your job, and then you go home, and it literally was that. But now running a business, we've currently got 21 staff members.
Wow.
That just, that's a million miles away now from where I used to be. So the pressure of that instantly hit me. It was quite surreal actually when I look back. But the transition, again, looking back, was the same. There's all sorts of emotions, but it was just really exciting, hard.
So, because I believe I watched one of your YouTube videos. That's because when I saw that we were working with Aaron, your co-director, I did a little bit. I thought, what's Jack on now? Because he seems confident. He seems very happy with.
Thank you, by the way. I appreciate that.
Nah, this is reality, bro. Like,
yeah,
I gotta tell it how it is for the people.
And you, by the way, you're doing amazing stuff. I see it all the time. You're doing some crazy stuff, so I love it.
Thank you, bro.
Good to see.
Thank you. Well, I guess we're doing job well but proud, aren't we?
Yes.
I'm supposed to be having a conversation with them soon.
Really?
About going in, but I'll talk to you about that.
Yes. For sure. Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
So I went on YouTube. Saw you doing this video just talking about your journey, but I'm kind of thinking, how did you? Because I remember did you see like how did you get into actually working?
Yeah, the industry.
Yeah, the industry.
So I've kind of come to the end of my tether really with the factory world. Yeah. I've learned a lot from that industry, and I do owe a lot to it and the career that I'd built there. But I've just had enough of how it actually operates on it really is who you know in there, not how hard you work or how good you are at your job. It's just, who's your best friend really? Are you friends with any of the top guys? If you're not really going to get anywhere. And that was really hard for me to try and adapt to. And I did try and adapt to it as well, and it just didn't suit me. It's just weird. It's not right. It's just not normal. You're being friends with people for the sake of being friends with people.
Yeah.
So I started to look for other opportunities. Like, how can I make money now? And how can I provide myself an income and pay a mortgage and fund a lifestyle that I wanted to live? And naturally then, because I was searching for these keywords, get rich quick schemes and all the rest of it that we're all guilty of searching.
Yeah.
Then I started to get hit by these advertisers that were running ads on these platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. I was just getting hit with ads left, right, and center. And this one ad really caught me, and it was a YouTube ad. And I just got sucked into it. And our business model, it's built on helping people. You've got to you're essentially coming into the back end of the company, breaking it apart and building it back up again. And that for me was like, that is so fulfilling, and I can get paid to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. I'm having a positive impact. I'm getting paid for it, and it's scalable.
Yeah.
So I ended up buying into a course, and that was really my entry. So YouTube ad hit me. Paid into a course, and I just started to soak up as much information as I could really, and just learn.
What was it about that specific ad then that made you think, I've got to part with my cash here? Because people get hit with them adverts all the time. It's probably more now than there were back then.
Yeah.
So what made you think, I'm going to invest in this?
Well, I did my research on. The person. It was Jordan Platten, my first ever mentor in this industry. And I did my research on him, just like you kind of did with me. I watched all of his YouTube videos. I really, really looked. I even messaged him personally on Instagram just to make sure I was making the right decision, and just watched him really for months. Just really analysed everything he was doing.
Yeah.
And it all added up. I was just like, right, okay, this is. And I'd looked at others, of course, and ads hit me, and he was just really the one that kind of. I looked at it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is the one. So that's really what it was, just research and just making sure that it was the right person, really, more than anything. It's like you say, there's loads out there. There's no shortage of courses and online gurus these days.
These are people that aren't gurus, are saying they're gurus. It's great.
Yeah.
The minefield.
That's what we're fighting with right now. Yeah. That's not fighting with, but that's, it's definitely a challenge,
Yeah. I was just going to say then, so during that process of initial mentorship, was that when you started to develop that confidence then to know you were onto something here?
No. So that's really where I was the most nervous, and because the confidence really has just come through the consistency of doing this day in and day out. And really, speaking to Aaron about it today, what we have to do is we're so vulnerable. We're literally, you've got to be able to be vulnerable on social media, because so many people just have access to say what they want to you. There's no, if you're in the street, you can just walk away from someone, you can, okay, whatever, see ya. If they haven't got the number, they can't contact you really, or anything along those lines. Yeah. But when you're on social media, anyone has access to say what they want to say about you, to you, comment on it, message you, it's just, so it was just about consistently putting myself out there, really.
Yeah.
But it was also, it was a long time. I think, because we'll probably get on to how I met Aaron.
Yeah.
But the initial stages, it was really, really hard for me, to the point where I didn't do it. I didn't post. I tried to make different profiles, like a company profile, so it wasn't a personal brand, so no one could laugh at me.
It doesn't work.
No. It doesn't work.
And I always say this, to a lot of the business owners that approach us through the Black Pounds Project, it's you've got to put yourself out there. Unfortunately, that's just the way the world works. You know, people try and hide behind the brand, but it just doesn't work. You've got people buying to people. And if
people buy from people. I love that. Yes,
well, you're the marketing guy, so I'm just. You can drop the ones. That's the one I know, but I'm sure you got way more than that. But that's
it is that.
Yeah. So yeah. So, Karen, did you have something on that? That bit.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that answered the question. Really was the confidence really was built just from, well, number one, really when I met Aaron, but two, from just consistently putting myself out there, really.
Yeah.
And just doing it more, just same as anything, you know, the more you do something, the more naturally you become confident and better at it.
Yeah. Yeah. So would you say, in terms of your personal profile building, what was there like a fear associated to, you know, maybe not getting enough likes or not getting any comments, or was it kind of that, or was it just literally not wanting to put your face out there?
No, I wouldn't say it was more. It was more so just of what people thought of me.
Mm.
Oh, you know, because we see it all the time, and social media has just got this. You know, especially if you look at our network and our, you know, the people we grew up with, and I mean, it's normal now, but because everyone does it. But back then, I mean, I'm talking what 3 years ago now, 2.5, 3 years ago. You put something on your story and you start talking to your camera, people just laugh at you. Oh, what's that guy doing? You know, like. So it was that's what it was. It was just, okay, like, what are the lads going to say about me? And yeah, I did get some, they did give me some banter, to be fair. I remember being in that group chat a couple of times, getting some stick, but it just built my character a little bit more. But that's what I was nervous of, is what are people saying about me? Are people, you know, that was the main thing.
And that's a really important point. And to be honest, I don't really speak to anyone from school, to be honest, which is kind of weird considering I spent all that time there. I don't literally, no animosity towards anyone, but it's just
absolutely,
I'm on a journey that I don't think anyone can really keep up with at the moment, and that's I don't mean that in like that people aren't doing their own thing, but I think just the direction. It's kind of like an unknown territory, really, where we're at the moment. So. It's like when I see people, it's like, oh, how you doing? But in terms of like regular communication, that doesn't really happen. It's
not there.
But I was just going to say, like, you know, it's the importance of having people around you that are supporting what you're doing, you know, and trying to encourage you, because, you know, your lads from school or whatever, they're probably not going to get it. They'll probably look at you now and think, oh yeah, he's doing well now. But at the time when you're on that climb, you're not going to get that from the lads. So,
I did get some stick. I mean, to be honest, they was pretty supportive, thank God. But I can't lie, they did give me some stick still. They did give me some stick. They still do. They still do now. But it's all just, you know, we laugh it off now and stuff. We always have. But you know, you can't avoid it.
Yeah, but the thing is that, you know, because they know you and they know, you know, your journey, it's funny to them. But people who don't know, they don't know that you used to be shy or whatever. They're just saying, oh, I'm really buying into that because this guy's confident and he knows what he's talking about. You know, people buy into people, as we said, they buy into that confidence, even if you're not particularly confident. If you can exude that and make it, you know, come across that way, then people will buy into it. So so let's so fast forward slightly then. How did you get into touch with Aaron? How did that come about?
So what happened was, so as I mentioned, Jordan Platten, he was my, you know, the first guy I got involved with in this industry. Now, he did an event with Aaron in London, and I wasn't even going to go to this event. I was thinking, do I go, do I not? Ended up buying a VIP ticket for like £15 or something just to sit at the front. And when I went there, something about me and Aaron, we just clicked. We just really clicked. I don't know if it was because he was from Birmingham and he just had that same kind of energy that I don't know, it's a Birmingham thing.
Yeah, it's just a Birmingham thing. And you're also you've also travelled out of your context, so it's even more exclusively Birmingham, you know, you sit on the front row and whatever.
So that's where I met him. I spoke to him previously before, you know, just in Instagram messages, nothing too deep, really.
Can I just ask a question? How tall is he? Because you are tall.
He's massive. I don't know. He's an ex-basketball player, so he was actually playing basketball out in the States and Australia and everything. So he's really tall. I don't even know his actual height, but he's massive.
Because I'm like 5'9", so I'm not even touching the sixes. But I know you're 6 foot something, and he's like towering over. I'm thinking, is this like some social agenda? Like I don't know.
You got to be tall to be on the roster.
Crazy, man. I'm like, I mean, guy's just blessed with height, but yo, he's tall, man. Sorry.
He's real tall. You feel his presence when he's in the room for sure.
No, it's wonderful.
But no, so I met him at this event, and it was just so weird. Again, the energy was just right, and the event kicked off, and for whatever reason, me and Aaron always talk about this. For whatever reason, this moment happened, but he knows he knows almost everyone in that room, and he's looked at me as he's talking, and he's getting in flow, and he's just trying to do his thing. And he looked at me, and just randomly out of nowhere, it wasn't a staged thing. He just said, "I know this guy, man," and we just clapped hands like that. It was so weird. It was almost as if we'd staged it. We did, the hands connected like that. No, we'd spoken briefly, like literally, I'd sent him like 3 DMs. That's it. Literally just sent him up 3. He's like, "I know this guy, man," and our hands just connected like that, and it was just like this weird. I know it sounds so crazy, but it was just literally like we look back and we think, I don't know, was that the start of it? Was that like where it all happened? But yeah, the event was amazing. It was one of the best events I've ever been to. He knows how to put on a show. Aaron does for sure.
What sort of stuff was he discussing? What was the event about?
It was purely about how to build and grow an agency of your own. How do you do this? And the reason a lot of people are actually training other agencies on how to operate and do what we do is just because we just can't work with every company in the world on ourselves. It's just impossible. There's millions of them. So that's what it was all about. And at the end of it, there was an offer, and that was to join into a mentorship with Aaron and Jordan collectively. Yeah. And that's what I did. So long story short, was at the event, went really well, super excited, ended up enrolling into their mentorship, which was a 6-month program. And yeah, that's really where me and Aaron started to build our relationship on a much closer level, because I could spend time with him. He was learning about me, I was learning about him. And it just snowballed really from there. But there's some interesting stuff that we'll get into in a moment. But that's where me and Aaron first met. It's how it all started, really. Yeah. But then if I lead into the actual 6-month mentorship, this is where I started to struggle mentally. Okay. Because, and again, social media, I think there's so much pressure on.
Sorry, you cut up a little bit there.
Being successful or looking successful. Oh, sorry, you got me?
Yeah, say that again.
You hear me?
You said so much pressure.
Oh, yeah, sorry. There's so much pressure on either looking successful or being successful through social media. And I've just enrolled onto this amazing mentorship, and there was hundreds of people in that room on that day, and they all following. There was me and 5 others that got onto this mentorship. Imagine it being like the golden ticket for, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's what applied for it.
Kind of, yeah. There was 2 offers on the day. One was something called a 1-month mentorship, which was just, the basics. The other was this big 6-month mentorship program that's literally designed to turn your company into something special. At this time, I was still working full time, so I just wanted it more than ever. So enrolled into this, and then all of a sudden, I started to fall into that trap of like just pretending and trying to look like I was doing stuff. But the reality was, I was just too scared. I was nervous. Me and my partner, right, Lauren. Yeah, we was going through the process of buying our first home together as well. So we had all of that on the line, all that money on the line.
Yeah.
And that was pressure as well, because I was thinking, Jesus, like, I've got to pay a mortgage, I've got to pay the house bills. Like, me and Lauren, I'm going into a big commitment here with someone that now she's my fiance. You know, we're getting married soon.
Congrats. I knew anyway, but I'm just doing that for the sake of the podcast. But yeah,
yeah. So, you know, a lot was on the line, and it really just started to affect me mentally. That's when I started to go downhill a little bit, really. And
so it was the pressure of knowing that you still had to keep that job.
More so the pressure of, I've gone this far now, I've got to make it. Like, if I don't do it this time, I'm not going to do it. Like, there's, you know, I've taken the courses, I've invested in myself.
Yeah.
If I don't do it now, I'm never going to get out of this. And that really crumbled me.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's so weird talking about it. I just literally fell into this on a day-to-day basis.
The courses were about you being able to set up your own agency.
Yeah, but also scaling it. So actually, you know, I think I said this before, to be fair, on one of my stories, but anyone can really build a business. It's not hard to create a business.
Yeah.
What is hard, though, is to build a brand.
Yeah.
And become something that's not necessarily a household name, but something that is, it's just big enough, and it's an entity in itself that you can create, you know, the bigger picture at the moment, like right now. We'll probably get onto this later on, but it's more than me and Aaron now.
Yeah.
It's about our team members and our clients. It's not about me and Aaron, and if we've got a Lamborghini on our drive, or you know, it's not about that anymore. It never was anyway, really. I mean, hopefully one day I can get a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, sorry, going off a tangent. Yeah, it was just a lot of pressure, you know, to just try and make it happen and just make it work. And this was really, in my head, the last shot, and I kind of was blowing it, really. It weren't working for me, because I had all the information, but I wasn't putting the time in.
Okay.
Just in this mental state where my comfort zone was my living room. This was after we got the house, by the way. So we've got the house at this point.
Yeah.
We've got the house. I'm tied in. We're paying the mortgage every month. But it was then when it really hit me, and just struggled.
And how did you turn it around then? How did you break out of that? Was it because you were still communicating with Aaron and saying, you know, you find it hard? Was that literally it, or?
So funny. It was Aaron. It was Aaron that helped me out of it. Of course, you know, family members and stuff as well. And when I say mental health issues, I was literally having panic attacks. Couldn't leave the house. Couldn't be in social environments, really. It was really bad. I had like really bad anxiety, and would get panic attacks and breakdowns. I actually miss, you know, Tom Grigg, who's a really good friend of mine from school.
Yeah. Used to be his best man. Me and Tom used to be up front, man, at school.
Yeah. Missing all the shots.
Wow, that wasn't me missing.
Yeah. I'll say that I was always the one on the sideline watching, just waiting to get subbed on. But no, so to the point where I couldn't even make it to his stag do. I'm one of his best men, and my mental health was that bad. I couldn't do it. I had to literally rang him on the day of his stag. Said to Tom, I'm so sorry, I'm in bits, mate. I just can't come. I can't make it. And, you know, that was hard. But yeah, it was Aaron. He literally sat me down, and I remember him just he's, you know, the thing I love about Aaron is there's no BS. It's just very straight to the point. Like, come on, what have we got to do to make this happen?
Yeah.
And he just looked at me and he was like, what are you doing? Like, you know, in a nice way, by the way. Yeah, but, you know, like, what's happening here? Like, what's going wrong?
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing this? Like, why don't you want this right? But why aren't you actioning everything? And we went into it, like, literally just went so deep into it. And whatever he said that day just turned it around for me. And all it was is I had to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And I wasn't ready to do that before I had that conversation with him. After that, it was like, right, okay, I just got to put myself out there. There's no other way to do it. If I want this bad enough, I'll make it happen, right?
Yeah.
That was it. That was the switch. It just started to, the next day, he had me come into the office. He gave me some opportunities. He put some business opportunities in front of me, some people that had reached out to do some business with him, and he gave me the opportunity to call them and speak to them, and I just started from, and that was literally it. We just started to.
He basically just said, "Look, I can see this. I can see Jack's not going to get there without this. Just chucking him in the deep end. Like when you're teaching babies to swim, it's just a case of, look, Jack, pull yourself together. This is what we need to do. Here you go." And then you just had to deal with it, and that's amazing. You know, that's true mentorship. That's true role modeling. Like, and also friendship as well. So that's
yes,
it's an amazing story. What's
absolutely.
And so what's the process after that then? So you started working with a few of his clients.
Yeah, we started to. He started to give me opportunities and really just helping him on the mentorship side as well.
Yeah.
So he was running the mentorship program. I was actually getting involved. I would help him. We used to do one every 2 weeks, and we basically onboarding people, making sure we're working with the right people, running the days as well. So it'd be a full day coaching between sort of 5 to 15 individuals, depending on capacity. And from that, I built confidence. I started to learn more about the industry, how to speak to people, and how to become a little bit more professional, really.
Yeah.
You know, bear in mind, I've just come from a factory full of grease balls and people that just swear in every sentence.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was the environment I was in. So just becoming a bit more professional and just understanding business and the business world a bit more.
Yeah.
From that, I then started to gain more traction in my own agency. So we've got Aaron's agency, Social Agendas, which he founded, and then we've got my agency. Now, we got to a point where everyone in Aaron's agency was delivering my agency's work, and then the mentorship program, I was helping Aaron fill up, really. So we was working together quite closely.
So can you break it down then? What does the agency look like?
Yeah.
How does that all work?
So the way that it works is we offer a number of different services. So a lot of the time we will run those Facebook and Instagram advertisements you see all over the place.
Yeah.
A high percentage of the time, it's actually an agency like ourselves behind those adverts, running them on behalf of that business.
Okay.
So a lot of the time, it's not actually, if you see a company running ads, it's probably not the owner of that company running them.
Okay.
It's usually an agency.
Yeah.
Just because it's not really a skill set that many people have. If you look on, you know, if you try and find it, the hardest thing we try and recruit is our media buyers who run our ads. It's just, it's unheard of. Trust me, CJ. It's unheard of. So, yeah, we run the Facebook and Instagram advertisements on behalf of companies. We also create their content. We manage all of their email marketing funnels, social media. We manage the social media as well. We essentially turn their social media into a big sales funnel and help them generate revenue through it. So that's what the agency model is.
Yeah.
But there's also, again, leading back to what I said earlier, there's too many companies out there for us, like Social Agenda. We're not going to work with everyone in the world. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Of course, we'd love to, but we're not going to be able to. So we also train and help other agencies build their own teams, scale up the companies, just do good. You know, just do good by people. There's nothing unethical about this industry at all, and that's why it makes sense to have those kind of partnerships.
Yeah.
You know.
So what's your like, I guess, favorite part of what you do? What's like, what do you enjoy the most about the work that you do?
For me right now, there's two things, to be honest. There's two answers to that. One is seeing our clients grow and be able to create opportunities through their own companies. Last year, for example, we had one company we took them to their first £1 million a month. You know, they generating, you know, £1 million a month through our work together. Of course, we don't take all the credit, by the way. A lot of what they do as well. And then another company we took to their first £1 million year. So seeing that, and then of course what that can create for their companies, you know, more staff members, bigger units, investors, all of this stuff is exciting, and I love that side of it. But then also it's our own internal team, I used to get really excited about my wins when it was just me and Aaron. It was like, yes, great, fantastic client to have on board. Love that, get really excited about those. But now I get more excited about when the team do well. Because it's not me and Aaron anymore. We've got a team behind us that help us, that are kind of the backbone of the business, really. Yeah. So, but it's just so fulfilling seeing people. Like, we want people to build careers in our company, not just stay here. Our media buyer's been with us a year now. He's just been promoted to team leader. So he's now growing in his role, and we're trying to just create this big system where people can come in and just build careers and be happy and have fun.
How does the recruitment process work then? If somebody was wanted to come, is it a long process?
Yes. I think it depends on the role. Finding media buyers, and a media buyer, just for anyone listening that doesn't know, is essentially someone that runs and manages all of the Facebook and Instagram advertisements, essentially buying data points, right? So buying data points on behalf of a company. That isn't really, no one's really got that on their CVs. No one's learned how to do that, really. Yeah. So you've either got to try and convince a freelancer to come and join your company, or you've got to, a lot of our media buyers actually come through our training programs that have tried to launch their own agencies before. And then, for whatever, it could just be too much pressure. There's a lot of pressure every single day. Something new happens. They just weren't built for it, or they weren't ready for it, or whatever it may be. And I'm not saying this is ours right now, but there's all sorts of reasons as to why they would want to just, take that pressure off themselves and just start to, okay, let me just be with someone that's growing. Yeah. Let me just increase or grow my skill set in what I love doing, which is running advertisements and generating results. Yeah. So, but the recruitment process for that side of the company is it's so hard. You're talking 3-4 months.
Wow.
To find one person.
Because people, as you mentioned, they generally don't have that skill set. They're not just going to say, I am a media buyer. It's just not really a thing like that. So you're looking for the person who obviously has the basic understanding of social media, but also that they're willing to learn that particular aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just have a passion for it.
Yeah. So I guess another question I had is like, because I get through this project, I always get people saying to me, trying to set up my business. I've been running it for a year, but just need help with marketing. I need help with marketing. Like what and I ask them, what do you mean by that? And they can't really explain, but they just keep saying marketing. What's your perspective on that? When people think marketing, what is specifically are they asking for when they say marketing?
Usually it's followed by a conversion. So people like marketing, I want more money.
Yeah.
But for me, what I'd say marketing is, or what you need really to make it work for you is content. And I kind of call it content built to convert. Yeah. We've all got the best phones and cameras these days, right, on our phones. It's not hard to get professional looking content, but content that's built for its purpose is the start, really. If you can nail that part right, well, you can grab attention, which is good. That's the first start. And then if you get the rest of the funnel right, you can get people to take action. So it's just about, it is literally a funnel. Yeah. You've got to bring people in and then squeeze the juice through. So that's kind of my.
No, that makes perfect sense. I think, for what I'm thinking is then, because I don't manage my social media, I've got somebody to do it because it's not my thing. So for me, I've got so many other things that I need to focus on. To me, it's like, if I was going to try and learn all of that, I'd be taken away from what it is where my actual skills lie, which is in people promoting the project and whatever. So for me, I get someone to sort my social media out. But why do you think people are so reluctant to get get an agency involved, get people to help them with it? Is it the financial aspect? Is it that they don't want to invest? What's your perspective on that?
I think there's a mixture. Sometimes it can be the financial side of things, because what we've tried to do is, if you think of hiring an in-house marketing team, alone, salaries wise, that it's going to be hefty. So that's one of the pain points we solve, is you're not going to be paying what you pay for what you pay for staff members every single month. You wouldn't even be paying us that. So sometimes it can be the financial side, but then I think it's just there's so many gurus out there and so many people that are saying, we've seen it all. We've seen people that have just recently taken training, trying to train people.
Yeah.
They're not qualified to give information.
Yeah.
And it's not fair, really, because the only people that suffer are the clients.
Yeah.
It's not them. It's not the people they train. It's the clients.
Yeah.
So what happens is a high percentage of, I'd love to actually work out what this number is, but a high percentage of our clients have been burnt before by other agencies. So a lot of the time they'll go with a freelancer or an agency. It won't work out. They'll have been sold a dream.
Yeah.
And then they're just left with this bad taste in the mouth.
Yeah.
And then when we come along, who are, we're a professional agency, we're ethical, we do everything the right way, and we don't actually take on projects if we don't truly believe we can generate the results.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to kind of accept, I mean, it's good in one way, because we get to show them the real side of it, how it really works and what it really looks like. But I think the main thing is just they've been burnt before by others. So that's probably the main.
You were quite fortunate there. Well, I guess you were fortunate in one sense, but then again, you actually did your research on the guy that you were going to be doing the course with. So, that's really important, isn't it? You gotta kind of do your research, because anyone can say they can offer something, but can they really? I looked at I think one of the best reviews I've ever seen actually was the one on Aaron's page, with two Asian guys. I can't remember their names, but they've just recently done a course, I think, with Aaron.
Just recently, Mo and Shads.
Brilliant review. And if you can get people to vouch for you like that, they're doing your job for you, to be honest. I couldn't believe how highly they were speaking of. It actually even made me want to do it, and I don't even really know what it is. What I've been going there for, but I still wanted to do it. So people actually like that. That's amazing. So, and I guess So I know you're a busy man. So and I've really enjoyed, and I'm sure our listeners will really enjoy hearing your story and your journey, knowing that you came from someone quite shy, didn't really take to school too much, went on your journey in your career, and now you've done that research, done that soul searching to find what it is that you wanted. So where do you see yourself in, let's say, 5 years, and then let's say 10 years? Where's Jack Mattison heading?
I think in the next 5 years, I mean, again, sorry, mate, someone called me. So in the next 5 years, and it's bigger than me and Aaron. So I mean, I just see us with 200 plus employees, and hopefully we're overseas somewhere as well. We've got another base somewhere, probably the US.
Yeah.
So that's probably where I'd say we'll be in the next 5 years.
Amazing.
I believe that can happen as well. So everything crossed for us.
Could you stretch to 10 years? What do you think about 10 years?
10 years. Hopefully retired.
just doing a little bit of consultancy now and again.
Just a little bit of consultancy, No, hopefully I think, we hopefully then in 10 years we have the right people in place to take over the harder parts of the company for me and Aaron, and we can take a bit of a step back. But who knows? Who
No, that's amazing, man. And I guess last point, if there was anyone who was, let's say, struggling with marketing, thinking about setting up an agency, what would be your advice to them?
So if anyone's struggling with marketing, the first thing I'd say is probably contact us. No,
that's what I say. You know, if anyone's struggling with their business and needs to know where to go, come to us, and I'll just point them to people like you. You know, and that's what the whole point is. But yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, if you're struggling on the marketing side of things, first of all, you just really got to understand your customer avatars, who you're actually trying to speak to, and then try and present that through your content. It's all about content now on social. You said social agendas, social media. It's all about content. So that's what I'd first of all say. Understand your customer avatar, your demographic, and then talk to them directly through the content that you put out there. For any agencies really that are trying to scale as well, I'd also say just do your research. It's not about it's not about the course. It's about learning from the right people. There's so many courses out there. Just find who you're going to learn best from, because we all learn differently. So that's what I'd say on that note.
Fabulous, man. And I did have another question, or I think I probably had a statement, but yeah, it's been absolutely amazing hearing your journey. And
thank you, man.
Oh, that was it. Where can people find you? Where can they touch?
So the best place to find me is on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Jack, that's JACK with 2 underscores, and then Mattison, and that's MATTISON. So that's the best place to find me on socials. And then, maybe we can have a chat and arrange a call with myself and one of the team and just discuss things a little bit further if anyone wants to. The best place is Instagram.
Fantastic. Okay, guys, so definitely get in touch. You heard it from the man himself. And hopefully, once things have settled down a little bit with Aaron, we can get the man on himself, the 6 foot plus guy that I need to meet. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate your time, and I will tune in with you guys again on the Black Pounds Project Live podcast next week. Take care.